Hello friends, welcome to another episode on the Majestic Bean channel. If you're new around here, we would love to have you on board. Please consider subscribing to this channel and pressing the bell button so you receive that little ding dong every time we post a new video. Also, if you love our work and you have an extra dollar in your pocket, please consider clicking on our PayPal link below to contribute and support our hard work. In today's video, we are going to talk about home espresso setups. In particular, we're going to talk about our espresso setup and why I think it's the best value for money espresso setup out there. The way this video is going to work is I'm going to go through making an espresso, but also along the way, I'm going to talk about each individual piece of equipment that I have here, talk about why I bought it, how much it cost me, both in Australian dollars, and I'll try my best to convert it to an approximate United States dollar value as well. But also I will talk about why I think it's the best value for money piece of equipment out there and why I think you should get it as well. First up, we have the Gaja Classic Pro machine here. Now this machine costs around $800 Australian dollars new, which is around 630 United States dollars. This machine features a 58mm commercial size espresso machine group head, which is the main reason why I chose this machine. Now this machine is very compact. So as you can see, it can just fit on a little bench top in the corner of your kitchen, or you could just have this table like I do and have your espresso set up on the side, but that's irrelevant. This machine is made in Italy and it's pretty good when it comes to making espresso at home. But why I think it's the best value for money machine out there is for one simple reason. It's very simple to use. It features a commercial size group head, as I mentioned previously, and also if it breaks down, it's going to be very easy to fix it. I have opened this machine before and all of the parts inside are very accessible to a person who likes fixing stuff on their own at home. So those are the three main reasons why I think you should get this machine for yourself at home. At the moment, it's preheated. So we're gonna make an espresso and I'm gonna move on to the next piece of equipment we're gonna talk about, which is the grinder. What I have here is probably, definitely the best value for money espresso grinder out there, which is the Barista Sete 270. It costs 500 Australian dollars new, or around 300 and something US dollars. I think it's around 350, something like that when you convert it. Now this espresso grinder is amazing. Doesn't clump, so the grounds are very fluffy. You can actually use it for different methods other than espresso. So if you're doing pour overs, AeroPress, cold brew, all that stuff, French press, you can use it for that as well. So that means it's an all-purpose grinder as well. It features a time activated grind, which means you are setting the time you want the grinder to grind beans for. And that means that you don't need to have it on and off for a very long time. You just set it, for example, for my dose, for 19 grams. It grinds for around 10 seconds. I press the play button and it just grinds. It's also very easy to clean, but the main reason I love Barista products is because of their customer support, because they're very easy to fix as well, and they always have best value for money products. My previous grinder, the Encore, I could fix it on my own, which means I'm not paying anyone money to fix it. You know, technicians are very expensive. They charge like $50-$60 by the hour and so on. So overall, best value for money grinder out there, probably. Definitely. Something like that. Also, it features this little bin over here that I use for dosing my beans. You could actually use the espresso handle here, the portafilter handle, to grind inside, but I find that it's less precise than what I'm doing at the moment, which is putting beans here, grinding them inside like this, and then checking the weight. Because it's not about how much beans you put in, it's about how much beans you're getting out. That's also very important. I also have my little pocket digital scale right over here, which costs 12 Australian dollars. Got it from eBay, or that's roughly 8 to 9 United States dollars. I use it both as a scale for measuring beans and also as a scale for measuring the yield of my espresso recipe that I'm using. And the next best thing probably out there, the most baristas and home baristas both use as an espresso scale, is the Akaya espresso scale. I think it was either Luna or something else. I don't remember exactly the name, but that scale costs around 280, 90, something like that, Australian dollars. So the Akaya scale, 200 something dollars. This one, 12 buckaroos. So you decide. Anyway, let's measure some beans. What I have here is a seasonal espresso blend containing Colombian, Brazilian, and coffee beans from Honduras. It's chocolatey, sweet, bright, very pleasant acidity, and most importantly, it was very cheap. Got it from the local supermarket, so it kind of works. I have a bit over 19 grams of coffee here. This scale that I have measures coffee to the 0.1 of a gram, which is very useful when you're making espresso at home. My grinder, the Barista 270, is set up on the espresso setting, which is at around 6 to 5, but at the moment it's at 6A. Put the beans in. Need to take some of the coffee out. Again, this is why you need a precise scale. Now, if you don't have $500 to spend for the Sete 270, you could go a bit cheaper, and within the 300 to 400 range, you have the 30 AP Barista Sete, which features less grind settings than this one. Or if you have more money, around $600, I think $600 to $700 Australian dollars, or around $550 to $600 USD, you can get the Sete 270 WI, which actually has built-in scales inside. It actually grinds per weight. So you're grinding a specific weight of coffee beans that you need for your espresso recipe, which is cool but kind of complicated, and if it breaks, you're fucked. So that's why I got this one. It's not that complicated. You could fix it yourself. Does the job. It's pretty cheap. Basically best value for money. Next up, we have the tamper. A good tamper is very important. What I have here is the Barista Hustle 58.4, I think, millimeter in diameter tamper. That costs 80 Australian dollars or around 65 USD. And the reason why it's best value for money is because it's light. It does as good as a job as the Pullman tampers or whatever's more expensive than this one. But the Pullman tamper, for example, will cost you 140, 150 Australian dollars, or around 110, 20 USD, whereas this one is 80 buckaroos. So it's almost half the price of a Pullman. Looks cool, kind of looks like a dildo, but it doesn't matter, and it does the job. And as a matter of fact, it fits perfectly into a VST precision espresso basket, which is the next thing we need to talk about, because this is one of the most important upgrades you need to do to your espresso machine. This is a 18 gram VST precision basket. Costs around 50 to 60 Australian dollars as far as I remember. I got it on sale, but that's the usual price, which means it costs around 35 to 40 USD. And as I mentioned, it's one of the best upgrades you can do to your espresso machine because it improves extraction and taste quality of your espresso. This tamper is also made for this basket, so it fits perfectly inside, just like a glove. That means all the espresso area is tamped evenly, and it covers all of its area as well, so it reduces the chances for channeling, because channeling is your number one enemy when it comes to espresso. Let's make coffee. Next up, a funnel, a dosing funnel, or on Google you can find this as a 58 millimeter jam funnel, because it fits into jars and then you can pour jam inside the jars. That's what it's used for. But somebody who was smart enough to figure it out that maybe you could use it for dosing coffee as well, figured this shit out, and now look at this, fits like a glove as well. The reason why I'm using a jam funnel instead of one of those rings on top is very simple. When you put the funnel on top and you put the grounds inside, it's much easier to swirl around and things kind of fall into place on their own. A little knob like this and you remove it, and look at that, that's perfect. A couple of knobs here and there as well, and that's it. I think that's perfect. So it does its job perfectly. Whereas if I was putting the handle here, right, the coffee grounds would be all over the place, and then you kind of make a mess. Also, it's kind of more complicated because you don't have a lot of room and area to play, and so on and so on. So this funnel is an excellent value for money solution when it comes to putting the grounds from the catch bin into the coffee basket. The jam funnel costs 13 Australian dollars or around 9 USD. And as I said, you can find it as a 58 millimeter jam funnel. Now we're gonna tamp. Before we move on, we have the tamping mat over here. This costs around 10 to 20 Australian dollars, depending on the size you choose and also the rubber quality. It's essential for tamping because you won't be putting the espresso handle on this piece of wood because it's gonna slip and so on. So it's very nice to have one at home. This one cost me $10, which is around 7 USD. And just Google tamping mat and you'll find something, I think. So 10 buckaroos, very easy. Now we move on to also probably one of the best upgrades you could do to your espresso setup, especially on the Gadget Classic, and that is the PID Kit from Shades of Coffee. It allows me to control the temperature of my espresso, the temperature of the steam or the steam pressure. It makes this machine and its temperature extremely stable. No fluctuations like before when the machine is in its standard form. The PID Kit costs 220 Australian dollars with the shipping, or that's around 170 USD with shipping, but I'm not sure if the shipping is cheaper or expensive from Britain to Australia as compared to from Britain to the US. But the price is around there, 170 USD or 220 Australian dollars. This product is amazing, takes this machine to a whole different level, and this machine at the moment is probably equal to something you could get new on the market for like $1,500 to $2,000 worth of espresso machine. So this machine plus the PID, $1,000 or a $2,000 new machine straight out of the box. You decide. I went for the cheaper route, but it also works best for me. Because at the end of the day, you want best value for money. Let's begin. Hell yeah. This is a nice espresso blend considering its price and considering the fact it comes from a supermarket as well. So we're gonna enjoy this. We're also gonna use the steam one just so you can see how easy it is to steam milk with the Gaja Classic paired with a PID kit. If you noticed, I have iced coffee as well. It's a very hot day today in Melbourne, 44 degrees outside. People are melting, we're inside making coffee, having fun, which is nice. Let's move on to the jugs. What I have here is a little 8-ounce jug and a bigger 14-ounce jug, I think. Yeah, 14 ounce. These two are very cheap to get. They'll cost you around 20 to 25 Australian dollars. All you need to do is just Google 8-ounce steel milk pitcher and 14-ounce steel milk pitcher, and the combined price for both of them, as I said, around 20 to 25 dollars Australian, which is around 15 USD or maybe a bit less. They're very important because this one is nice for one coffee, this one is bigger, so it's gonna be very useful for 2 coffees. This one is nice for latte art as well in these cups. And after that, I have the knock bin, which also cost me around $20, $20-ish dollars. You could actually pick a used one from Facebook Marketplace, for example. So, but if you want a new one, it's probably between 20 to 40 if you're looking for different materials and so on. So 20 to 40 Australian dollars, which is around 15 to 25 USD. Now we're gonna steam some milk. The steam boiler is up to temperature for steaming milk. What I'm gonna do is just purge a bit of steam. Adding the PID to this machine really takes it to another level. The ease that I'm having with steaming milk and pulling espresso shots one after another is just incomparable to how the machine was previously. And as I said, what I basically have over here is a $2,000 worth machine, but I paid a total of $1,000. So if that's not good, then I don't know what is. See the milk, nice and silky. And we have how easy is that? What you also need, that's a very essential piece of equipment when you're making espresso at home, is a little timer that you use to time your espresso shots. This will cost you $6 Australian in Kmart, or probably around 3 to 4 USD. It's very easy to find. It has a magnet. You can just stick it there. But it's very useful when it comes to making espresso, because if you're not timing your shots, then you're literally punching in the dark. Now, before we go, we don't want to forget the trusty painting brush. I don't even know how much this costs. You just need to go to Bunnings in Australia or Home Depot probably in the US, and you could pick up a brush for like $1 or something. And also toothpick. This is the most expensive piece of equipment over here. And I don't even need to tell you where you can pick up a toothpick from, but I use the toothpick sometimes to distribute the grounds in the coffee basket. Today was fine, I could do it with my hand, but sometimes I do it with the toothpick, and that's called the Weiss distribution technique, or WDT. There are tools out there that you could buy for like $30 or something for the same thing and for the same use that you could just do with this toothpick over here. So up to you guys. If you want to look fancy, you could do that, or you could just get a toothpick. This coffee is pretty good as well. So as you can see, what we have here is a espresso setup that I think is the best value for money out there that you could possibly get. It costs, the total cost of this thing over here, this setup, is around 1,700 or 1,700 Australian dollars, which is equal to around 1,200 to 300 USD. And for that money, you literally get a cafe quality capable espresso setup, so it can make cafe quality coffee at home. So that way, not only are you gonna make very nice coffee at home, but also you're gonna save money, because you don't need to get that very nice coffee that you would usually get in your cafes. So that's about it for today's video. I hope me breaking down my espresso setup and explaining why I have what we have here will help you make decisions when it comes to getting your own equipment at home. If I missed anything, or if you think there is a better value for money piece of equipment out there, or maybe something that you prefer to add to your espresso machine instead of what I have over here, please comment down below and let us know what you think about it, because we want to see what you guys do at home and kind of compare what we do around here. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. We also have a PayPal link down below if you have an extra $1 in your pocket and you would like to support us and support our work. So that's about it for today, and we'll catch you next time. So bye.